finally get it and you're not even satisfied because you were trying to live somebody else's life. It's always who, what, when, where, how, and never why. And because you don't know yourself, you went and got something that in the end you really didn't enjoy, and now you're miserable, but you're achieved. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ure. I also go by Chimso. Here I talk about being young and becoming financially free. If you're returning, hey guys, I hope you all are doing well on your journey to regaining your childhood and reclaiming your freedom through financial literacy. And today I will be talking about assessing your goals. But before I hop to the video, obviously you can see something has changed, so I'm trying to decorate my little area where I'll be recording. I added some of these things. They've been sitting in my room and just around the house, so I decided to add them. But yeah, so a few things might be added throughout my video, so just be on the lookout. But let's go ahead and hop into the video. Okay, so like I said earlier, today I want to talk about assessing your goals. Now, I feel like a lot of people, you can search up on YouTube how to plan out your goals, how to execute your goals, how to achieve what you want to achieve. But I don't see a lot of people talking about how to actually assess your goals and ask yourself critical questions before you go into actually planning out and executing what you want to do. So today, I'm going to be talking about how to actually assess your goals and make sure that you're actually doing what you want to do and give you the deep motivation and the core reason for why you're actually going to do something, which will make it a lot easier to keep up your drive and your motivation while you're doing it. Two key things that you need when you're assessing your goals is you need to be self-aware and very self-reflective, and you also need a particular vision and path that you're trying to go on in your life. The reason why you need to be self-aware and self-reflective is because you need to know yourself in order to properly assess your goals. You need to be self-aware because you need to know what you want, what you as a person value, so that you're not distracted by what everybody else wants. One thing that I'm going to talk about is how social media and like the instant access to other people's lives kind of skews our own values and our own wants because we're seeing what everybody else has and we try and strive for that as well. You need to know yourself and know what you like and know what you want and know what you value in order to properly set goals and to actually assess those goals to see if they fit in with the type of person that you are. The second thing, like I said, is you need a vision. You need a general life goal or a bigger picture type of thing, because your goal should be moving you forward towards that vision and towards that bigger picture goal instead of little things along the way. You can have little goals like here and there, just to like, you know, treat yourself and give yourself things that you like, but it's better to have bigger picture goals, longer term goals, so that you can plan out your life in a way that pushes you forward towards achieving those goals and doesn't hold you back from doing those things. Here are a few questions that you can ask yourself when you're trying to assess your goals. The number one question is why. Everybody's always asking who, what, when, where, and how, but they're never asking why. Basically what I'm trying to say is everybody's always planning out how something is going to happen, how they're going to achieve their goal, but they never really understand why they want to do it. Like I said, they always ask who, what, when, where, how, the plan. They never ask why, the reason. You need to have a specific reason for why you're doing something, and you need to understand why you have that reason, because it pushes you forward and it really is the core of how you're going to get there. Like the why is going to determine the who, the what, the where, the when, and the how. These are just some things that you can think about when you're trying to assess your why. Just some things that came to my head. There might be other things and other factors based on, you know, your own specific situation, but I feel like these are very general things that a lot of people can relate to. Societal pressure or pressure from your parents, pressure from your peers, flex culture and the glitz and the glam of social media to boost your self-image and your self-esteem in other people, not really in yourself, to better yourself and your situation, or to treat yourself. Like I said earlier, you can buy little things here and there that you just want to get because you just want it, and that's treating yourself, that's gifting yourself. It's good to treat yourself sometimes. This is just the first level of why that you will ask yourself when you're assessing your goals. So the why could be like, okay, why do I want this? Let's just take one of the examples that I give. So you can do the societal pressure one. It's like, I want this because society says that I should have it, or my parents say that I should have it, or my friends say that I should have it. After you realize that your why is societal pressure or pressure from things around you, then you can ask yourself, okay, now that I know that it's this, why do I feel the obligation to give in to this pressure? Why exactly are they pressuring me to do this? So a very common example of this is, I'm going to use a example of parents. Let's say your parents are pushing you to be a doctor, and hearing that your whole life, one of your main goals in life is to be a doctor, right? But you don't really know why you want to be a doctor. So you ask yourself why. Okay, why do I want to be a doctor? And then you realize it's because your parents have been saying it your whole life, like, oh, you're going to be a doctor. We want you to be a doctor. We want you to do this. You got to go to medical school and things like that. So now you understand why you have that goal. And then the next why question is, why am I receiving this pressure from them? And a lot of the times when parents are like pressuring their kids to do a certain career is because they just want them to have a stable lifestyle. Once you understand the whys, you can then assess your goal in terms of your values, which is why I say it's very important to be self-aware and to be self-reflective, because when you're assessing your goals and you come to this why question and you figure out your parents want you to do this because of this reason, or society wants you to do this because of this reason, or you want to make yourself look better to other people, or you want to improve your situation. Once you answer this why question, you can assess it based on your values and who you are as a person. And the only reason you're going to know that is through a lot of self-reflection and through self-awareness. It's very important as you're growing up to be self-aware. And honestly, in anything that you do, this isn't just for finances. When you're setting goals for anything in life, it's very good to sit down and reflect and be self-aware and figure out exactly why you're doing this, the whole reason behind what's pushing you to do this. Question number 2 is, if others didn't have it, or if others weren't saying that this thing is important or that you need to have this thing, would you want it? Along with this is just sitting for some time after you decide that you want this goal, and then after that period of time, I would say give it like about 2 weeks to a month. After that period of time, do you still want that goal? I think sitting for a period of time before you actually start going after your goal is good, because if it's a real goal, it's going to take a little bit of time for you to actually achieve it. It's not just going to happen in 1 week. It's probably going to take a few months or a few years for that thing to happen. So sitting with this goal for a few weeks to see if you actually want it will be good before you go and waste a few months of your life or a few years trying to get something that in the end you didn't really want. Like if you want new shoes or new clothes because you see everybody else on Instagram wearing it, and you know, this whole sitting with it after a while thing comes like in conjunction, but at the same time after you ask yourself the why question. If you haven't asked yourself the why question, you might just jump into saving money to get these shoes. But if you want a specific pair of shoes because everybody else has it, and you sit with this for a few weeks to a month, and then you realize after a month these shoes are no longer a trend and you don't want it anymore, then that will no longer be a goal of yours. There are a lot of people that strive for things, and then once they actually get them, they're not really satisfied with it because they were trying to live somebody else's life. Their goals were what they saw other people doing, and they don't realize that some of those other people had to actually assess those goals for themselves, and then after they did that, they went and pursued what they wanted. But you just went and did what somebody else did, trying to live somebody else's life, trying to be somebody else. And because you don't know yourself, you went and got something that in the end you really didn't enjoy, and now you're miserable, but you're achieved. I think in taking time to sit and think about these goals, it's also important to take time away from where you got this idea of this goal from. So let's say you got this idea from TikTok because you saw a lot of people posting this on their TikToks or doing trends about this thing. Take some time away from TikTok or spend less time on TikTok to really see if you actually want this goal. This is when a lot of that self-reflection will happen, because you start to ask yourself the why questions because you're not seeing it all the time, and you really dig deep into yourself to see, okay, what is the reason for me wanting this goal? If the reason you want this goal is friends, stop talking to your friends about it. Try and not be there when they're talking about these specific things, so that you yourself can be the only influence that's making you set this goal and not external factors. The third question that you should ask yourself when you're assessing your goals is, what exactly am I trying to achieve through this goal? This kind of ties back into the whole why thing. Honestly, all of these things, they all just go together because it's all about self-reflection and knowing yourself. I feel like once you start spending more time with yourself, like asking yourself different questions like, why am I like this, like that, why Why is my favorite question. That is the most important question you can ever ask yourself about any situation, about how you are, about your relationship with other people. Why is a very powerful question. And if you don't ask yourself why about anything, you'll be lost about so many things that are happening in your life and in the world and just everything around you. You'll be very lost. So always ask yourself why. That is a very important question. But for this specific question, what are you trying to achieve through this goal? This will kind of anchor you when you're pursuing this goal. Like for me, one of my goals was to buy a car, and I had to really ask myself, why do I want a car? Like when I'm at school, I don't really need a car because I'm not really going off campus a lot. And when I'm home for only like 3 months at most at a time. And when I'm home, I can use my parents' car because they don't go out a lot. So I had to ask myself, what am I trying to achieve through this goal? I want the freedom to be able to go out whenever I want without having to worry about using somebody else's car. But the thing is, for me, my parents have no issues with me using their car. They barely ever go out. So whenever I wanted to go out, somebody's car was always available for me to use. Now, eventually I did get a car, but it wasn't because I bought it. My uncles decided to gift it to me because of graduation. But what if I had decided to spend thousands of dollars to get a car that I would only use for a few months out of the year? I could have waited until after college when, you know, I'm not really in school and I really do need a car more. So that's one example of like asking yourself, what is the reason for me doing this? These are things that you can use to help yourself assess your goals before you go and start trying to make them happen. It is very important to understand why you're trying to do something, because that'll be the whole reason that drives you. Find your why. I think there's a video about that on YouTube. My junior year, when I was in the school play, one of the teachers that was also in the play, he showed us this video about I think the title was Find Your Why. If I can find it, I will put the link in the description. But it was about finding your why. It was a very motivational and inspirational quote. But a lot of times you're not taught how to do that, how to find the real motivation behind you doing something. Most of the time you're just taught that you should go out and do it. But why are you doing it? That's very important to sit down and assess your goals. So to recap, when you're assessing your goals, you need to be self-reflective and self-aware. You need to have a specific vision and bigger picture goal for your life. And you need to ask yourself why you're doing it, what you're trying to achieve in doing it, and if you took some time away from it, would you still want this goal? I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that you will start sitting down and reflecting on not just your goals, but like yourself and your life, and asking yourself why you're doing things and why you are the way you are. Why is a very important question. I know I've been saying it a lot in this video, but it is the basis of almost any growth that you're trying to achieve in your life. Ask yourself why, and you will be able to find an answer. So, you can go ahead and comment down below if you have any other video suggestions for me. Also, like, comment, and subscribe if you like this content. But yeah, that's all I have for this video. I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Right?